How's it going, everybody? David Hedge here, House Hedge Gaming, and welcome to day 2 of GenCon 2024. Now, right below me are attendees here at GenCon that are waiting for the exhibit hall to open up. We got hundreds of thousands of gamers all ready to get their hands on new games, on classic games, on everything in between, all the accessories like dice, playmats, dice trays, dice bags, everything dice, everything playmats. And as you can hear, the crowd is roaring up. They're getting ready to do announcements down there. But it's going to be a great day, an amazing day. We got game nights live tonight, and I'll be joined later by Joey Harris, who I introduced in the previous video, at the end of that video, for the recap of day 1. And all I got to say is, hopefully we don't get in too much trouble. Because there is a blooper reel where we were just like going off for like 15 minutes of different things and jokes and everything. And trust me, it's really funny. I've sent that to some people. I may post up here later on down the line. But it's going to be a great day. It's Gen Con Day 2. And I can't wait to see what's in store in the exhibit hall. I didn't get to check it out too much yesterday, but this is where I'm going to be spending a majority of my day today. And then tomorrow is the TCG hall with Magic the Gathering and playing some Commander and having a lot of fun, as I always do here at the Best 4 Days in Gaming. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn this camera around so we can see everybody going into the exhibit hall. And let's get ready for Gen Con Day 2 right here in Indianapolis, Indiana. So without any further ado, my friends, let's get started. All right, the time is now close to 11 o'clock here on day 2 of GenCon 2024. We just got out of Game Nights Live, which was at the Indiana Rooftop Ballroom. And Joey, this was your first time seeing Game Nights, first time actually going to something like this where it's Commander play.
Yep.
What's your thoughts on it?
It was a blast.
I think it was
It was
too.
a blast. The personalities of the people playing were wonderful, enthralling. Their interactions were great. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It was really good. I was going to include some video from that, some pictures, but you know what? I'll have to wait on those because I don't want to spoil what they're going to be showing later on down the line for Game Nights Live. It was a whole lot of fun, though.
I will spoil something. We got this just for attending.
That surprised me. So they have been giving these out for like purchases of X amount of dollars or more throughout the Wizards booth or entering events, stuff like that. So it was a free event that Wizards was able to do with the people of the Command Zone and Game Nights. And being able to get that for free, the dinner that they provided was insanely good.
Best sliders I've ever had. Don't know what was in them, but they were great.
Yeah, it was a mystery meat, but it was fantastic. The ambiance was amazing. The everything they did from costuming, like they've always done for the past few game nights that they've had live at MagicCons, this definitely lived up to that hype and exceeded it in my eyes. And it was a fun game to watch. So speaking of games, so we were able to do the exhibit hall today. Almost knocked over my water. That would have been fun. And we picked up some
weird
stuff.
Definition of fun.
How about that face? So we picked up some games today. I was able to finally get into the exhibit hall, take a look around. There's a lot. There is a bunch of stuff to discover this year, especially trading card games. Apparently right now we are definitely going through a renaissance of trading card games, which is insane to me.
Yep.
After COVID, with everything that's went on, people were on board games for the longest time. But now coming out of COVID and we're getting to that, we're now like the second full year, I guess, back to being somewhat normal after COVID. Having all these different trading card games.
Don't get me commenting on normality.
You never are. But being able to have all of these games come out with no particular IP really attached to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like for every one that has an IP attached to them, you have like 4 or 5 that are brand new IPs.
Yep.
And even though some of them are using mechanics from 1 or 2 games, just remember, if you take from one, it's stealing. But if you take from multiple sources, it's research. So do keep that in mind when you're playing some of these TCGs when I'm talking about some of them in just a little bit. But we're going to go over some of our purchases that we found and things that just happened to catch our eye. And Joey, I'll let you kick it off.
Oh, well, let's go back to something that we kind of talked about last night. Yes, I was able to get Raw Card 1977. I'm glad you enjoyed how I said that. So
it's not just that, it's where she signed it.
Yeah. So Jackie did sign the game. I didn't have to stand in line for it. She was actually there when I picked it up. If you notice, she signed it right there in the small of the performer's back, kind of making a tramp stamp out of her name. Now, as we were stating, if you go into the karaoke, you get a promo However, I was also able to just buy the promo for $3, which is of Jackie, back a picture of her back when she was in the Runaways, and that is signed as well. Very happy with that.
And plus, you said she was doing photo ops with people at the karaoke stage.
She is. She was doing photo ops with people, just posing in like rock poses with the horns up and everything in front of the karaoke stage, which I probably still will go to tomorrow night. And if I don't bomb, there may be a video in here of it.
And if he does bomb, there will definitely be a video of it. But it was just, that's really cool that she was able to do that and everything, and to have somebody who goes from that genre and transition it into a game like this is definitely a whole lot of fun to actually see that transition. And plus, she's going to be here the full weekend. She's an attendee at GenCon. This is her second one. Somebody thought it was her first one, but she corrected them. The whole glass slide and everything, what he was telling me. And just the...
Well, actually...
So how that happened was him telling me that and the photo ops and everything. I'm like, man, I wish I would have been there. But I was actually off doing my own thing this morning. Like I said, as you saw, got the chance to see the marching of the gamers going into the exhibit hall and everything. And the first purchase I got was, of course, Super Skill Pinball Harley Quinns Ball. Now, this is from WizKids Games. It's basically pinball in a board game. Basically, all you're doing is that you have two boards that make up your pinball machine. The bottom and the top part, you're rolling a die to see where your ball is going to fall. And there is gravity involved in this game to where, like, each section, your ball is going to be traveling down further and further. And
just to clarify, I was confused when I first heard about it. There is not an actual ball. It is all dice rolls.
Correct. If it was actual balls, that'd been funny as all get out, because those things would never stay in one place.
No.
It'd be funny as all get out to get that thing going. But there's 4 different ones on here. It's basically a roll and write game. But it's a whole lot of fun, and I had to get it. It was a blast to play at the garage on Tuesday night, and I'm glad I was able to pick it up. So what was your next one that you got?
My next one was probably when I just happened to be sitting. Well, we went to the auction house today because Dave had a few things in there. And while we were sitting there, I was bored, and they started auctioning things. So, I'm going to get the label off here. I picked up an old game from Amigo, a Ravensburger type affiliate. Once again, I love everything Ravensburger. This is called, let me make sure I pronounce that correctly, Heinrich & Co. This is a kind of a spy discovery kind of game. It looks a lot of fun. I don't know. I got it for about a third or about half of its normal price.
Yeah.
And it's also been out of print for several years, so I was very happy to find this. Like I said, Ravensburger, it's going to be good. Haven't ever played it, but I'm sure we'll enjoy it when we do.
Dang right. And plus, I've said it before in different videos, and I'll say it again. If you ever get a chance to just sit in the auction house for a little while, if you need a breather, sit in there, and I guarantee you will find something you never knew existed.
You'll spend money on something you did not plan to.
Like what happened to him.
But I'm happy.
But the thing is, like, you could find some of these rare games, or even some that you've never knew existed, and you can pick them up for pretty much on the cheap for the most part. If you can get into the consignment store, definitely do that. But if you can't, the auction is a cool way to do it. Like I said, you get to chill, relax, spend some time just catching your breath, because you're going a whole lot during Gen Con and everything. And if you don't take breaks every once in a while, you're going to end up hurting. So speaking of hurting, next one is from Ravensburger, and we're both going to share on this one because we both got copies of the brand new Horrified Worlds of Monsters. So this one, unlike some of the other Horrified games where you'd have like 5 to 6 monsters to go against, this one only has 4. But the reason why is that Cthulhu is such a massive enemy. It is set in different stages that you have to go through. So it's like a mini campaign to go against Cthulhu. But this one is another great addition to the Horrified line. We're going to get this on. Hopefully I can get Joey and Star from the Star Altars to join us in on that. And we'll have a blast being able to do that. Which, by the way, if you haven't checked it out, go to Is It Star Altars on Facebook. I'll include link below. Picture should be coming up right about now.
Oh, so no. I don't think Star's going to play this. There doesn't seem to be animals to collect.
Ah, goats. Still love you, Star. But we'll see if we can get this on the channel, and hopefully won't go too crazy on it. All right, so next one I picked up
Actually, let me cut in real quick.
Okay.
Because mine was a combo deal. So normally $30. Normally $30. I went ahead and bought an older version of it too. But because I bought them together, this one was a half price, making them both under the list price for both of them. And because I bought both of them, I got this Ravensburger Horrified beanie that probably doesn't fit my big head. Let's see. No, someone else is getting this probably. It's like trying to squeeze off. But still got it. Anyway, that was just my addition to Horrified there.
Yeah.
Carry on.
The one that they offered is the Grief Monsters edition, which is a fantastic one. All the Horrifieds have had
So much fun.
Yeah, they're just a really good game. Being able to just get people together, have stupid fun, and playing solo as well. It's a perfect time to just kill, to go after monsters and everything, and watch people get destroyed because, well, you can't save all the townsfolk.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter which Horrified you pick up. All of them are phenomenal. We've played through 3 or 4 of them now, something like that. Yeah, something like that. It's a great game, no matter which format.
All right, so next one I picked up is from SRG. So they did SRG Super Show, which is a wrestling card game that involves die rolling. And they recently revealed this one, which came out at Origins, but I was able to demo it today, had a blast with it. It's a new take on Liar's Dice. It's called Scallywagger. So with this one, it's 2 to 5 players, I do believe, in the starter here. I got it right. Cool.
Hot dog.
Basically, what you do, each of the dice are your crewmen that you have, and you start out with 7 crewmen at the beginning. And it's Liar's Dice. You have to make bets, see how many dice of a certain kind are amongst all the captains on the board. And if you have 3 things you can do. You can either raise the bet, you can call somebody a scallywag and tell them they're a liar, or you can parlay, knowing that you exactly know how many dice of that number that was named are on the board. But you take a big risk if you do that. If you succeed, you're able to gain treasure or gain action cards, adventure cards that can be used towards the
You
next
can gain
adventure.
treasure?
You can gain treasure, yes.
Star, you'll probably want to play this. You can gain treasure.
And you roll a bunch of dice.
It's right up your alley.
I did have trouble lying in this a little bit, but at the same time, I was actually truthful because the captain that was running the demo, he kept calling me a scallywag, and I was right every time. So I think it was one time I messed up, but it's a whole lot of fun. It was $25 online. It's $29.99. There's a little promo pack you can get. They have a show special here. This is the promo pack, $25, and
It's good.
this artwork is really cool. Like, I've really loved the stuff that SRG has done before. The wrestling game has already been around 10 years, which blew my dang mind.
It's been around that long?
It's been around that long, and it's nuts to think that. And some of the characters from here are in that game, and so
Okay.
there's going to be expansions for this. If you love rolling dice and if you love lying to your friends, this is definitely the game for you.
Well, that's a good little spill right there.
Except kids, don't lie unless you're rolling dice.
So I've been on a Ravensburger kick, as you can tell. The next game I bought, I can't show you. Simply because they were out of physical copies. So I bought it online, and they gave me the promo stuff, and the reason I went ahead and bought it is because of this guy. I love this pigeon. It came free with Oh My Pigeons. They also gave this little pin. There's the name of it. Oh My Pigeons. I should be getting that within a week. But in the meantime, I have this guy.
Joey's unofficial mascot for the rest of GenCon 2024.
Think I'm going to call him Perky the Purple Pigeon?
Say that 5 times fast.
No.
Okay. All right. So next one. My next 2 are actually going to be TCGs. Because like I said, we're going through a renaissance of tarot card games right now. And this one is the Universe of Legends. So I was able to get the starter pack, the Alpha Sanctuary starter pack, or Singularity, excuse me. With this, basically you take on the role of an agent that is trying to save your own bases from being destroyed by other agents. And with this, you're taking control of classic characters from all across time and space, pretty much. And I'll get into opening this up when I get back home, getting a little more in-depth on the gameplay, but talk to the people at the booth. Bunch of great people.
Yeah, really cool guys.
The game. Yeah, you can definitely tell with some of these companies, and I'm not saying all of them don't do this, but some of them definitely put their best foot forward been trying to get a game off the ground, and this is definitely one of those, and hopefully they stick around for a while.
We should also be doing, a play video for it too later?
Yeah, we will be doing a play video of it. If more starters come out, I'll definitely see if I can get some, so we can have diversity.
It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, see if we can have diversity between the games, but if anything, I'll probably still end up losing, but it's okay. What you got?
Oh, my turn. Oh, kind of showed that too. All right,
so
back in the auction.
I think we're even, so.
We went back to the auction house another time. And I was bored while he was doing things, so I bid on something else. Now, this one I only did get for $3, so this is a great find. Several years ago, a company that I used to judge games for, Cryptozoic, put out a game called Battle Wizards. Actually, it was Epic Spell Wars, different expansions. Battle Wizards was one of them, and I picked it up for $3. If you know anything about Cryptozoic games, they're also a lot of fun, usually pretty easy to learn, easy to pick up. They're all inclusive in the box. Now, if I remember correctly, with the Epic Spell Wars, you can mix expansions like you can with a lot of the games like that. But for $3, this is a steal, and like I said, it's a fun game. I remember demoing it before the game actually came out, and I can't wait to crack this and play it.
All right, so my last game purchase I got. So I went to the Soul Masters TCG booth, and I was in communication with them before the event took place and got a chance to demo the game. I can tell you this right now, it is a whole lot of fun. It's quick and easy to learn, and it's one of those games where, you know how in Commander and in some of the other like games where you have like a bunch of resources, you're building up and you have like about 8, 10, 12 resources from like mana or
energy, like if you're playing Pokemon, like whatever, yes.
So with this game, you have a maximum depending on your leader in the deck. So for the 2 decks they had available, it's 4. So you have 4 resources that you get to have throughout the game. Now there are cards that you play face up, but any card can be a resource. The cool thing about this game is that you are able to put those resources face down, but there's cards that you'll play face up and be able to get those back later on down the line, which is pretty cool. But we'll go into the play later. But for Soul Masters TCG, I picked up 2 different decks. They're the same decks. Big difference, though. So I have Athena and I have Keshi for Soul Masters. The artwork on this is amazing. But what they did is that they decided that they were going to do regular arts. And then, for those of you who love chibi art, look at those adorable little buggers right there. All cards that are in the game have a chibi version in addition to the regular version. And my wife's definitely going to love this part. I'm definitely going to be loving those. But it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And plus, like I said, we'll get demos of this going up hopefully in the next couple of weeks once we're back in GenCon and we recover. But Soul Masters TCG, be prepared to see a bit more of it on the channel because they are definitely a game worth checking out. If you like TCGs, if you love TCGs like I do, definitely give them a shot because I do believe that it is one of the more fun TCGs that I've seen. It's easy to learn, artwork's great, and there's a lot of different...
and since it just came out, now's the time to get in the ground floor.
That is true, because sometimes you regret it.
Yes.
So, but definitely, I'll include links to all of these below because this is not going to be going up past midnight like the last night's was. So I'll have time to actually add links. And I'll do that to the other one too if I haven't done it already, which I may or may not. I don't know. But
it's GenCon. It's a blur. Don't worry about it.
You'll find out. And I think that's it for the game part. I did get a few other things. I got me t-shirts because you know what? I'm a big guy. This is where I get my shirts from and everything. Unfortunately, the booth that I got my shirts from, unfortunately, they're no longer doing these kind of shirts. They're doing more of licensing. But with those licensing shirts, unfortunately, it's smaller shirt sizes. But I did pick up a couple playmats. One picked up for, if she sees this video, she'll know. But you know what? That's fine.
Yep.
So for Lynn, who plays Rocco and basically a bunch of food, decided to get her the Agatha one here. Really like this artwork, and I know she'll like it too.
That is a Magic the Gathering Commander deck.
Yes. Thank you. Magic the Gathering people, this is your part. So this is for her commander deck. It is signed by the artist, and hopefully she enjoys it. The other one I got is from Steve Argyle, and this is for our friend Clara, who has been watching our cats for us. Is this the right one? Nope, that's not the right one. We're live, pal. We're alive to tape.
We're kind of live. It's been in day 2 of Gen Con.
We're there. So this one's from Steve Argyle. Look in there. You got a good kitten. You got a bad. You got a like both of them are just good.
You got
and bad.
kittens. They're
you got
doing
kittens.
things.
Clara's going to love it. And plus, I had to get this one because it was the Fairies Protection from Sheldon Menery. I had to get that mat. Don't tell my wife that I got a mat, but you know what? I had to get this one because it's a Sheldon one. And
So you're saying, Cindy, when you see this, don't tell yourself?
yes, Cindy, when you see this, don't tell yourself that I got a playmat. But that is it for Gen Con Day 2. And
Kind of. We got a couple of free little games.
yeah, but I mean, like that.
Yeah.
All right, now hold on. Actually, explain this sucker.
All right. So this one is, I don't really know the rules. They're on the back. I haven't read it yet. I'm lazy. But I was walking by a booth and the person said, hey, I've got a 1-card deck building game for free. For those of you who don't know what a deck building game is, you're usually looking at a card pool of about 200 cards that everyone is drafting cards out of to build decks and to play. All you need is 1 card for people to play this deck building game. Rules on the back, and according to them, you can play it in 5 minutes while you're sitting in a restaurant waiting for dinner. Well, we'll give you more on that in the future.
that baffled me. I was doing the demo for Soul Masters, and you're like, here's a 1-card deck builder. And I'm like,
even the demoer was like, wait, how does that work? I'm like, I don't know. Didn't read it.
It stopped the demo in its tracks. But you will only find this kind of stuff up here at Gen Con.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's day 2. And there's still 2 more days to go. Still going to be a lot of stuff to do.
Hopefully less walking tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow morning, I'll be over here about 8 a.m., going to be playing some Commander in the morning from about 8 to noon, and then from that point, go back to the exhibit hall, check out some of the side rooms, and just have one more good run through the last full day before we head into Sunday. Which Sunday is still a full day, but it's not. It has that feeling when you get to Sunday, people are excited because
it ends between 4:30 and 6, and people are happy for it to end by that time.
Yeah, some people are happy, like exhibitors, ecstatic that it's over. It's been a successful year, but for players, that means it's another 365 days until we meet friends again.
It's a bittersweet farewell because everyone's so worn out, so tired, so just wrecked. At the same time, this is a lot of people's. This is their holiday.
Yeah.
This is what they do for fun. They look forward to this every year. So yeah, when it's over, you're like, oh my God, thank God. But at the same time, you're like, oh, now I got to go back to work.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like this is like people's happy place, and like, plus most people, this is the only time they really get to connect with their friends face to face. And granted, with everything now, you have text messaging, you have Discord, you have all that stuff to where you can keep in contact with people. It's just not the same. So
especially when you're dealing with tabletop games, you want the people to play the games.
Oh yeah, like that's one thing I could tell you real quick. 'Cause I know this video is going a little bit long, but hopefully, if you're on this part, thank you. That's one thing I could say about being able to come up here and see people that you've never met before, or see people that you've met in the past
15 years ago in a random game, and you're like, oh, dude.
Yeah, and you're catching up with them and everything. Like, that's the cool thing about Gen Con. It's the cool thing about conventions like this. Being able to have that opportunity to be with people face to face and have those interactions, and you can feed off each other's energy throughout the day and throughout the whole convention. But then when you go back home, it's still, you're able to still keep in contact with them, but it's just not the same. So this is, like I said, this is a lot of people's chances to reconnect with friends and see them in person, and then they'll just have to wait till next year, and people will take full advantage of it. Like, we're here at the Marriott right now. We still have the auction going on in the back. for the collectibles and everything. We have downstairs partying going on like it's 1999.
It will be going on to
And
about 3 in the morning.
yeah, they
The
will.
lobby is full of people drinking, playing games, singing. The whole lobby singing "Happy Birthday" to one guy who was dancing on a couch.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding. There.
yeah, we'll try and figure that out later. But this is the scene at minus the auction part. But this is the scene at a lot of different hotels in downtown, and even some on the outskirts of town, because people are going to connect with each other through the Fans of Gen Con webpage or anything like that, and they're going to be able to get games going in the lobbies and everything. And it's just people losing themselves in gaming for 4 days and immersing themselves in this great hobby of ours. And then they get ready to go back home and they just start counting down the days till next year. But I know you'll be counting down the hours until we have a third video up.
That's right.
But Joey, thank you again for joining me for
Of course,
this.
it's been a blast.
Cindy and all of them, they're currently still, as we're recording this, they're still listening to Stray Kids in Chicago. They've been there all day. I just got the request for Aloe. So I need to see if I can find that for them. They're definitely going to need it after being out in the sun all day. But they're still having a blast with it, and I'm glad they are. We had a blast here. Everybody's having
Indeed.
a blast. And
Great
hopefully
day.
you're having a blast too with watching these videos from all the different content creators, including yours truly. And we'll be back at it tomorrow one more time, my friends. So until then, thanks again, Joey, for joining me on this.
Of course, man.
Appreciate it. And we'll see y'all tomorrow. So until then.
Good night.
Dang, I tried to go for like the soft ending. And you just threw that off so bad. Keeping that in. Again, thank you all for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. Don't you dare say it. Until next time.
Don't need to. It's there. They know.
Until next time, my friends. Stay safe and take care.
Toodles.